John Heyman. Let's talk starting pitching. Let's dig in here on guys who are available, and Verlander is not one of them.
No.
I want to make that clear. And Manoah is not one of them. And by the way, Verlander is facing the reigning Cy Young winner tonight, and we're not even talking about him. So that tells you how good Verlander is. Who is available?
Yeah. Well, I think Luis Castillo is right at the top of the market. The Yankees and the Dodgers are among teams looking at Castillo. He has been terrific lately, an ERA just over 1 over his last 5 or so starts. Really come back with a vengeance, and doing this in a tough pitcher's park. And he's at the top, I think. I think Montas may be next, probably at this point that we know is really on the block and likely to be traded. But there's a whole group of guys now even below Castillo. And Montas has been good since coming back in his 2 starts, beat the Astros in the 2nd start. So he's been good right below Castillo. But there's a group of guys who may or may not be traded kind of on the cusp. Their teams are. Pablo Lopez with the Marlins having a really good year. He should draw a lot of interest. I'm sure that he is. We'll see about the Red Sox with Nate Eovaldi not having his usual year, but we know he is an excellent money pitcher. And the Indians, I'm sorry, I did it again. The Guardians.
Yes.
The Guardians, I hadn't done that in a while. The Guardians have a few pitchers. We have Bieber up there. I would think Plesac is a little more likely. I know the Phillies are talking about Plesac, but the Guardians are considering doing something with their pitchers. So, there are a few extra. And Rondon, we can consider him possibly. I don't think the Giants are going to sell, but if they do, Rondon is a candidate.
Okay, Jake, I have a question off of what John said. Yes, they're all very good. My question is this. If you go from a market where you're not contending and you have not contended, and you're thrown into the fire in a big city or a contending team, how do we know that a guy can perform at that level given the environment?
Well, I thought I went back and we broke down Castillo not too long ago when he came into Yankee Stadium and performed the way he did. I was sold. Hey, that's all I need to see. Frankie Montas, again, I think if you're an American League, if you're the Yankees, you've got to love. He just beat the team that you're going to have to try to beat in the Houston Astros somewhere along that line. That's a selling point to me. I look for little signs like that of success in those moments, or if I can find them. It's one thing, and I know this as good as anybody, as far as trying to have success in the postseason and finding very little of it at times. It's a different ball game when you're the only game in town in October. Having these guys, and I think Castillo and Montas are certainly guys that are going to be just fine when it comes down to it.
Yeah, New York is a different animal. You just don't know in some cases. It seems to affect the hitters more. I don't know why that is. The pitchers get out there and they do their thing. But, we've seen this with Joey Gallo, who's terrifically talented and was very good for Texas. A multiple All-Star, multiple Gold Glove, over 30 home runs. He just hasn't done it in New York, and they're going to have to move on and find a place where he's going to be able to perform. But there is that question about a big market. I agree with Jake. I think Montas and Castillo will be great. That's why you see the Yankees and the Dodgers going for them.
All right. Well, we have a couple of games that are underway.